Okay, so it's my pleasure and delight to be able to talk with Valerie Wise today. Why don't you tell us briefly, like who you are, who you serve?
Oh, I'd love to talk about me for a minute. Isn't that great? Thank you, Natalie, for the opportunity. I'm Valerie Wise. I am a Midwesterner living in Northwest Indiana, and I am in private practice. I'm a part time private practitioner and retired college instructor, solution focused psychotherapist, and biblical life and marriage coach, and an author. And an author.
All right,
Yeah.
beautiful. And so, Valerie, you're right now, you are in my legacy mastermind, and you've taken a couple of different programs with me. So tell us a little bit, what was your situation before you started working with me?
Great. Before I started working with you, Natalie, I had an idea and I knew I wanted to put that idea out in the world. And I had the thought that I wanted to do it as an online option. But until I met you, I really did. It was just kind of just there, this idea, and nothing happened with it.
And so, why did you want to get your idea online?
My belief is that's the best way to reach the largest audience, and being online is also the best way to still be working and not be working. And what do I mean by that? It allows me to create something once and benefit from it residually. The course that I created is a course for African American Christian married couples. I've now expanded it to engaged couples, pre marrieds. And it's called Marriage Miracles 8 Steps to Strengthening the Sacred Bond. So it's an 8 week course. And it was an incredible, it was a great learning experience for myself and for the couples that participated. We would meet as a large group. I had them break up into small groups. I did things where I mixed the couples, where the women would meet together and the men would meet together. And I found that they learned from each other as much as from me. And that's the way I wanted the course. And then I used a lot of the things I learned from you in terms of creating a very interactive space, a space that allowed for uh, authenticity and fun and creativity. It was a lot of fun for me and them. And there were times that I wasn't necessarily trying to have fun, and it was fun uh, because there were things I learned along the way, and the participants just allowed me that growth space.
Hmm. What were some of the results that you witnessed your students getting and that they appreciated getting?
What I saw was how they moved in terms of their emotional growth, their willingness to be vulnerable. It was very powerful. I did witness transformation, and that is in fact the goal of the course. And so it was very powerful for me to see that, and to see how these couples really grew closer, and
Hmm.
they had an even deeper uh, experience with faith in their faith.
I'm just getting the realization that this must have been so rewarding for you, Valerie, to witness this dream of yours actually coming true.
Thank you, Natalie. That's a great acknowledgement, because it was exciting for me. It was moving for me. It was very touching, because I realized that God was answering my prayer and my desire for doing the course in the first place. So it's helped me know that, okay, I'm on the right track. Let's keep making this better. The second time around, I actually had a virtual assistant. The first time around, I was everything. I was like the Wizard of Oz doing all the bells and whistles. So I had someone that was helping me that way, but I was able to do some things with my the slides that allowed it to be even more attractive, more engaging, and I always made some effort every week uh, to expand and build on the learning opportunities. I made every week there was something for them to do. There was an interaction midweek that I would give them. So I was responding. They had a private Facebook. There is a private Facebook page. And I did surveys every week to get a sense of what worked for you this week. What would you like to see more of? And, so the feedback was very instructive for me and very positive too. And so it also gave me a sense that I can expand this course and build on it. It doesn't have to be maybe 8 weeks, but maybe I could expand it.
I am just so bubbling over with joy and delight and pride for you. But I want to ask you, Valerie, what are some of the things that you are proud of?
Oh, wow. Um, well, Natalie, I remember sharing with one of my coaches. I got to tell them how proud I was to be in their company of someone who was able to launch a course the first time around. And when I think about, I could have said, well, I don't have enough people. I could have made excuses, but I was, a lot of the work we had been doing with even some of the shadow dancing, the fear dumping, there were things that I realized I wasn't going to allow me to be hindered by that anymore. So I had this thought, I'm jumping in from the deep end. and and it felt just doing that, facing the fear of possibility of failure, but experiencing success. It seemed to free me in so many ways. And I came away, it wasn't a cockiness, but it was definitely a confidence booster that, you know what, you did it. It wasn't perfect, but you did it. And I also experienced a lot of love from the participants. The first time around, the people that worked with me are people that I know, and they wanted to support me. So that it was from their love that they did it, but they also had to acknowledge they learned a lot and they believed it helped them in their relationship. So I said, okay, the formula works. I want to keep going with this. So yeah, I forgot about that part. I was very proud and grateful that I did it. It's nothing like creating something and really looking to see how it works rather than just kind of shelving it because you don't know. I put it out there to find out.
I am so proud of you. You just, I just like, my heart is just like that.
Thank you. I'm so glad because Natalie, you were a big part of that, and there's no question. There's no question that what I learned, your enthusiasm and your creativity, your transparency, um, gave me I think it gave me a lot of the courage to go ahead and go for it. Go for it. Yeah. So I want to thank you.
Well, you are so welcome. And just to echo what you already said, you don't you don't learn unless you actually take action and do something. And
It's
you
true.
certainly don't make any money, and you don't change people's lives either, right?
It's true. Yeah. And you just said something I'd like to build on. It was nice that I made the money, but my objective is really to change lives. And that to me, when I focus on that's where I become the most productive.
Right, because it takes you out of that it's all about me and and I'm scared and, like it not helpful to focus totally on ourselves, is it?
It isn't. And, I find that that's such a waste of time.
Yeah.
Because I find, and maybe I shouldn't say this, but I will. I find that I'm not as tolerant of people with the, oh, poor me, what about me? I don't know if I, because the focus is so much on yourself that you really lose out on the world is waiting. And I found that to be true. There is somebody in this world that will really benefit from what you have to offer. And maybe it's not on the scale of a Tony Robbins, but it's okay, but you need to share it.
So, Valerie, talk to us about why had you not offered an online course before you did?
I don't believe I you know what? It's as simple as belief. I don't think I believed, and it's so interesting because I when I was teaching in the community college full time, that's exactly what I did. I created a 100% online curriculum. And my friend would say, "Why don't you do that for yourself? You do that." And I would, well, that's what it was. And then I encountered you. And it was something about the free 5-day course that you offered that kicked up the belief. It was like, yeah, I could do this. It was, and because you made it very accessible, you made it simple, and I realized, and I think the fact that you were willing to kind of go step by step with us with it, that changed the belief. The truth is, if you believe it, even though it sounds hokey, if you believe it, it will come, you know. But it has a lot to do with the belief. I didn't have that belief before, and I was really determined to change that belief. I found that the fear dumping and melting mountains was most effective for me. The fear dumping was something where I took the time, and I believe that's how you present it, that we just look at everything that could possibly be a hindrance, be something that we might be afraid of. And I really don't like the idea of having fear hold me. And when I started doing the fear dump, it was really like a purging. Uh, yeah, it was like a purging, and I realized, is that still in there? I don't want that anymore. And the melting mountains, I love that idea of realizing that those things that I believed were insurmountable were in fact illusions. They were part of a faulty belief system. And and as I changed how I viewed, quote unquote, the mountains, I also changed how my trajectory. I wasn't standing still. I kept moving. That was the key for me. Recognizing that if there is a mountain, I can climb it.
Let me just ask you, what are you looking forward to uh, going forward with this course that you've developed?
I am absolutely looking forward to putting this course in a learning management system and allowing it the modules to be expanded to really tweak the learning opportunities for the adult learners that I believe to be a part of my audience, my target audience. And my objective will be to offer it as both a way that's a hybrid, so that live there's live interaction, but there's also online where people can work at their own pace. And that to me is the most ideal. My objective and intention is to have a wider audience, and I hope to reach couples outside of the United States. I see you as kind of like a rocket fuel booster. you you bring energy and faith, a level of belief, and a fearlessness that's contagious. So you come in and you say, you represent all of the odds, you're a woman, your age, etc. And you tackle that like, okay, that doesn't have anything to do with me wanting to create. And I resonate with that. So anybody that's considering working with you will find that they'll be fully supported. You will provide them great learning opportunities, and they will see success if they follow the formula.